All right, so from your setup, one, we just talked about getting up taller. I want this line to go through your belt line or slightly above that. Okay. So in an ideal world, on top golfers, your right hand's more on top. Your club's going to hinge more vertically. So your hands will stay in the box I just drew, and the club should stay outside your hands. So you're trying to hinge it horizontally. Horizontal hinge is for a golfer who's got the right hand under. So your club ideally would be more out here at this point. Hands in, kind of club out. And then the club would go vertical like it does here because of the wrist. And then you'd end up in the same spot. And we're trying to get you, because you got long arms, we're trying to get your left arm and your shoulder. I want those two lines to get as close together as possible. Higher arms. Long arm players, you look at the picture of Tiger up there. See how his left arm's above his shoulder?
Yeah.
That's where you need to be.
Yeah.
If your arms are the same as your height, you'd look more like Luke Donald or Adam Scott.
Mm-hmm.
If your arms were shorter than you're taller, you'd look like Zach Johnson, arms below your shoulder plane. So you're in a Zach Johnson position. So if your arms were an inch or so shorter than your height, then you'd be down there. But your arms were longer.
Yeah.
So we got to get your arms up more. Now, up doesn't mean out. So what I mean by that is when you're at address, I get a lot of players saying, I got to get my arms up, and they swing their hands up over that line.
Yeah.
Out away from them.
Yeah.
That just gets you disconnected. Your hands are going to still travel on that line or close to it. It's just from here, they're going to go more this way, which they don't.
Yeah.
And they're still going to be behind your shoulder. They're just going to be up here.
Yeah.
So your left arm's more across your shoulder line.
So when I'm setting it this way, which is what you're
With your wrist.
with my wrist, the club will be climbing up this plane line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So go ahead and set up there, and we'll go live.
Yeah.
Okay. So take your setup. Let me go one camera, target line. Okay. So that's better at address.
Yeah.
Now if I drew the plane line here. Okay. So this line is for your hands to go on.
Yeah.
And your club head. So in a perfect world, because your wrists are going to hinge that way.
Yeah.
Okay, so your hands kind of go back this way, and the club's going to stay probably right just outside your hands,
Right.
like that. So that would be an ideal position for you going back.
Yeah.
Then from there, you're going to turn, and you're going to go up to there. So now your left arm and your shoulder match up.
Yeah.
Or a little higher.
Yeah.
All right.
I see where my TP because I'm tight in here.
Yeah.
With this. Yeah.
Yeah. So go do that again.
Okay.
So your hand path still is straighter back, just like you want. Your hand path's still going to be this way.
Yeah. And not
Not in, right? And your hand path is dictated by your shoulder. You turn your shoulders properly, your hands go back this way. The club's just going to hinge out here because of that hand,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you just go here, if you just cock your wrist, that's the way you hinge your wrist. If this hand was under,
I do it that way.
you go like that,
Mm-hmm.
okay? But this hand's on top, so it's going to hinge that way, and then you're just going to move everything together, so you kind of get that way with it. Feel that?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's going to end up
Yeah. And
right there.
yeah. So it's.
Yeah, that's a little bit out.
Yeah.
But yes, but I would prefer club head a little bit outside your hands versus inside your hands.
Yeah.
So it's out. Yeah. No, that's perfect. And then let you just go up from there. Yeah.
Yeah. So the feeling is the hands are like going this way, and I'm cocking this way.
Yeah. Hands are traveling along your stance line,
Yeah.
and the club head just kind of stays outside your hands till about shaft parallel.
And the shoulders control the hand path.
Correct.
So what does that mean for my shoulders when I'm starting?
Okay.
Quiet?
No.
Not quiet, but like how?
Shoulders. This goes up. This goes down. Just because you're tilted.
Right.
You just go like that.
Definitely not flat. That's
No.
Yeah.
But you remember, you're front post, so
Yeah.
your left knee's going to come forward.
Mm-hmm.
This shoulder's going to go like that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Bring it up. Good. Don't try to guide the club head. You just turn your shoulders, let your hands go where they're going, and you cock your wrist the way we talked about. There. Like that. Perfect.
Yeah, that's tight for sure.
Yeah. And that's more of a center post. This knee shouldn't come in too much.
Okay.
And do it again. This knee's gonna bend more towards, your leg's gonna come forward towards your toe. The other one like that, there. So you still have pressure here,
Yeah.
but your center of mass is middle. So that's good there.
Better position.
Yeah, and then if we go back to, do it again.
Okay.
Right there. So if you look at see this picture here?
Mm-hmm.
So now your left hip stayed against the line, your left knee didn't move inward, it moved more towards the ball or towards your toe. That's going to encourage your shoulders to stay this way, help your arms get up.
You're recording.
Yeah, this is all being recorded. Okay?
Yeah.
So go ahead and do that again.
Wow, those are different feelings. I can feel all of this just
Yeah.
tightening in a whole
Oh, yeah.
different way.
Yep. All right, so from there, your left knee bends towards your left toe of the ball. Yeah, perfect. That was good. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Good. Do that again.
So hands straight back and cock the club straight up.
Yeah. Let me just redraw the lines. Go back to address. Okay, so there's that line.
Is there a line from the club head up through that the club head should be following?
Not really. I mean, you go ahead and set up. You can draw a line from the ball kind of over your right shoulder,
Yeah.
and you know you're going to be in that cone.
Okay.
So now when you go back, yeah, there you go. See how your left arm's right on that line that I drew?
Yeah.
That's where you want to be. Before your left arm would have been down,
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Well, it's easier to get it up there. I'm actually not even thinking about
Yeah.
lifting or getting it up there.
Perfect.
It's just-
And that's what you want. You don't want to think about where the club is in space so much. I get worried when a player comes to me and says, I don't know where the club is. Well, that tells me you don't know where your body is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you get your body in a good place,
Yeah.
the club will react to that.
Yeah.
Just because you want the club in a certain place doesn't mean your body's going to do it. You can just place it there with your arms,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
it's not any better. It's in a good place, but you're disconnected.
Yeah. That's why I think if I get the bio, what
Yeah.
to get to where we just got to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you can do
So it's here,
there, yeah, that's really good there.
and then to get down.
Just reverse the process. So now you start with your legs and rotate exactly.
Yeah. It feels like I'm throwing the club out, but
Right, but it's the club staying wide, but it's not tossed because throwing the club is when you use your wrists. You're not doing that.
because it's starting to.
Right. What happens is the opposite. So go ahead and take it back. So you're up here. So now as you unwind, you lose this angle.
Mm-hmm.
You push with your right arm, so the club gets out here.
Mm-hmm.
The club head gets outside your hands, but not outside the swing plane.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can get back to the ball.
Got it. So I'm giving that pushing that out feels like the piece that I'm missing
Yeah.
because everything feels like it's like choom right here.
Yeah.
But this gives me some length. This gives me some whatever
Yeah.
radius. It
That's-
spins back.
That's what you want. For you, my guess is because you were moving laterally too much, what happened was the club would drop down in here too much.
Mhm.
You can't get back to the ball from in here because you're an on-top golfer. You're going to have much more cover, and he calls it
Yeah.
cornering, going around
leverage kind of.
going around your left side like this. You're
Yeah.
not swinging out to the right.
I never get over there.
Yeah, that's where you need to get to. But you can't get there going right and left.
Yeah.
Right and left, you're going to swing more to the right.
This is helpful.
So the club exits, part of the Mike stuff is the more on top you are, the more left the club comes out. The more rearward you are, the more right the club comes out.
Yeah. And I'm mixing. I got like pieces mixed all
You're
over the place.
you're a front post golfer trying to play a rear post, and it doesn't jive.
Yeah.
So things are going different ways,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden your mind's like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to
And then
do.
I'm trying to just figure out, all right, I just need this ball to go right in. And my body,
Yeah.
as an athlete, I start to try to figure out
Yeah.
on the course, like, wait a minute. But this is what I need. Like,
Right.
I need to, like, systematically
Right. It
work
doesn't
my
get
way through
yeah.
it.
Your body, your mind needs to get in tune with what your body's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Your body wants to go X, and your mind's like, no, it's Y,
Right.
and you get zilch, Z.
Right.
So now you're going to stay a little left, yeah, there. So now you can cover the ball, right? You can get
So
your
when
arms.
I come down, I'm coming out,
Yeah, it's going to feel outward.
and I'm here.
Exactly.
So it's
Yes. And that's where the curvaging stuff you're going to typically play a little bit more of a fade. If you lined up square, your ball flight's going to be more left to right because of being a front post golfer.
Yeah, as opposed to.
So if you want to draw the ball, you just have to change your body alignments relative to your face.
Yeah, and get the.
But
right.
keep the motion the same, like we
My
talked about.
swing tendency, right,
Yeah.
is a little bit of a fade.
But if you lined up dead square to the target line, you're gonna fade the ball.
Right, it's good.
That's your bread
It's
and
just about
butter.
knowing it, right?
Yeah, it's in knowing it and accepting it.
Right. Go a little narrower.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, there you go. That's good.
And then coming down.
Now it's the opposite. Left leg straightens up, right side covers. Yeah. Now from there, your hands are gonna go with your body. You're gonna keep yeah, they're gonna go that way.
Yeah, because this has definitely got me going this way.
Exactly.
If I'm fighting this, that's not gonna
Yeah.
work.
I'm not trying to get you to swing your arms left.
Just let it go.
You're going to rotate and you're going to go left. There's a big difference.
Yeah.
Swinging your arms left is cutting across. That's a swipe. We're not
Yeah.
swiping it.
Yeah,
You're rotating because that's the way your body's designed to move.
yeah. And I've prepared with the backswing to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was better. So let's take a look at that. All right. So here you can definitely see a shorter rightward pressure trace versus before. And when you took it back, so your hands are in, club is out, right? So
That should be going up right now.
no, that's actually pretty
It's
good
okay.
right there.
Okay.
You're not moving to the right as much, so you're staying closer to the line here. Now you start going vertical with the shaft. Okay, so that's good. You're staying more centered with your pressure. Right, that's as far right as your pressure got, and it's only 70%. You got almost 90% before, so that's a big difference. We didn't get the arms high enough, but that's going to take time. But now you're able to post up sooner. So now the club, when it comes down, you want it. You don't want at this position here. You don't want the club head to get below your arm. It gets a little bit behind you there because you're too shallow in the
Below
backswing.
my arm, depth wise.
Yeah. So right here, the shaft. It's a little blurry, but the shaft is here,
It should be where.
which is okay.
Yeah.
The next two frames, the shaft is underneath your arm and the club head's back here. That club head should be almost in line with your hands.
I see.
Okay? And then, because what happens is the club's getting a little too underneath your hands instead of outside your hands. But that's just because your arms are too low at the top. And then, but when you go through, your hands start going left and the club comes out a little bit lower. So the main problem with this one is your arms are just too low here, so you can't do it.
Got it.
Got it. You did everything well except for your arms are out of position to make the club do the right thing. And this is where you have to be careful because this is where you're like, well, I got to get the club out, which you do, but you can't get it out with your arms low. And this is where people make a mistake. Well, then they start trying to push them out and they get into a bad position where
Yeah.
all you got to do is get your arms a foot higher.
Yep. Okay.
But the body motion, that's a really good body motion there. That's better. And
You
now
care about me breaking that line coming through?
no, you're going to break it a little bit.
Okay.
You'll break it less, one, through more repetitions in one swing, and two, when your arms are higher. Because the lower your arms are, the more lateral you need to go to get the club out in front of you.
Got it.
But in one swing, you changed most of it. It was pretty good.
Yeah, well, the understanding like what I'm trying to do
Yeah.
is like my biggest thing. I feel like I can do anything
Yeah.
ultimately, but like if you don't know what to do or
Exactly.
you're crossing things up, that's
Yep.
that's
So does all that make sense?
yeah, that makes sense.